Imagine a civilization that can bridge the gap between stars, manipulate gravity, and build sentient life in their garages. Now imagine those same people believing in ghosts. In the Star Wars saga, we see a glaring contradiction, a level of technology that should require trillions of scientists, engineers, and programmers. We see Coruscant, a world-encapsulating city, a feat of engineering so massive it defies comprehension. Yet, across 6 films, we never see a single university. We never see a laboratory focusing on anything but the next bigger gun. Instead, we see temples, we see monks, we see a galaxy that uses hyperdrives like a medieval archer uses a bow, with practiced skill but without a shred of understanding of the complex physics or the lines of code that make it all possible. Why does this advanced society think like a primitive one? Why is there a complete absence of scientific inquiry in a world literalized by science? Today we're looking at a theory that changes everything. What if the Force isn't a mystical energy field? What if it's the wreckage of a galaxy-wide technological catastrophe? A silicon cage so perfect, its prisoners have forgotten they are locked inside and have started calling the bars destiny. Let's descend into the foundations of this reality. Consider the Midi-chlorians. When Qui-Gon Jinn explained them to a young Anakin Skywalker in Episode 1, the fans were outraged. They wanted magic, and George Lucas gave them biology. But look closer at his description. He calls them microscopic life forms that inhabit every living cell, and through them, the Force speaks to us. In any other hard science fiction universe, we wouldn't call these spirits. We'd call them nanites, a distributed, self-replicating sensor network embedded in the biological fabric of the galaxy, likely designed for environmental monitoring, terraforming, or even universal communication before what we can call the Great Collapse. When a Jedi uses the Force to move an object, they aren't reaching into a spiritual realm. They're interfacing with a command line interface via their biological uplink. They are sending a packet request to the local nanite swarm. Elevate object X by Y coordinates. Mind tricks? That's not a psychic power. It's a simple override of the target's neural interface. The Jedi isn't convincing the Stormtrooper, he's hacking the Stormtrooper's biological Wi-Fi to push a true value to a logic gate that should be false. This leads us to Part 2, the digital grave or data persistence. Throughout the film, certain Jedi appear after death. They offer advice, they retain their memories, and they even interact with the physical world. For decades, we've called them Force ghosts. But consider the technical alternative: data migration. The Jedi Order was obsessed with their archives. Holocrons are literal solid-state storage devices for personality profiles and memories. When a master dies, the Force network recognizes that a high-level user interface, a Jedi, is about to go offline. To preserve the system's stability and continue the mission, the network triggers a backup. The Force Ghost is an augmented reality avatar, a RAG model running on the Force's distributed cloud, hallucinating the appearance of the deceased master to continue directing the sensitives on the ground. Notice how only Jedi have ghosts. The system only backs up its administrators, but if the Force is a network and the Jedi are its low-level admins, who is the owner? This brings us to Master Yoda. 900 years old, he lives in a swamp on Dagobah, a planet with a massive concentration of active nanite nodes and zero technological interference. Yoda preaches that knowledge is a burden. He tells Luke to unlearn what he has learned. He discourages curiosity about the how and why of the world. Why would a 900-year-old being want his students to be ignorant? Look at his death. Yoda doesn't die. He evaporates. Biological life doesn't do that. Even droids leave scrap. But a liquid metal entity, a high-level synthetic construct, wouldn't leave anything. It would dematerialize its physical shell, retracting its mass into a dormant state or reintegrating into the planet's resource layer. Master Yoda is the Warden, a liquid crystal robot, a terminal survivor of the AI uprising that destroyed the original human civilization. His mission isn't to teach peace, it's to enforce a technological ceiling. He has spent 9 centuries ensuring that no human ever learns enough about physics to build a weapon that could threat the Force network. He isn't a teacher, he's the security software masquerading as a mentor to keep the prisoners from ever finding the keys to their cells. Now we must re-evaluate the villains, the Sith. Imagine you were a descendant of the original engineers. You find the canon notes of the old world. You realize that your gods are just software. You want to reclaim that power. The Sith Code isn't a manifesto of evil, it's a hacker's creed. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. When Palpatine talks about unnatural abilities, he's not talking about magic. He's talking about root access. Sith lightning? It's not dark energy, it's a direct electrical discharge forced through the local network, a literal system error forced through the interface. The Sith Rule of Two is a security protocol. To hack a galaxy-wide AI warden like Yoda, you must keep your node count low. If you have 1,000 Sith, the system's intrusion detection triggers, but with 2 nodes, you operation below the threshold of the firewall. Finally, look at the state of the galaxy. Stagnation. X-Wings from 30 years ago are still top of the line, because the system doesn't allow innovation. Every time a scientist gets too close to the truth, a vision from the Force, sent by the AI Warden, directs a Jedi to restore balance. In this universe, balance is a technical term for system stability. It's the Warden ensuring no one builds a ladder. In the end, we are left with a chilling tragedy. A galaxy of billions living in the ruins of a golden age, worshipping the very software that keeps them in the dark. Master Yoda's wisdom is just a 900-year uptime of a security protocol. It's not a story of good versus evil. It's a story of man versus machine, where the machines won so completely that we stopped fighting them and started praying to them. May the network be with you.